Hey Geeks, this is Devin. Sorry about the long wait since Spectre, but I've been dealing with finals and school and stuff, so getting back into the swing now. This is going to be the Force Awakens review. And warning, there will be spoilers, but I'll mention when those start. Alright, Force Awakens. It was really good. Like, really good. I understand why some people have not liked it as much, but I'll explain my reasons for liking it and stuff. So here we go. Okay, number one, the characters. The blending of the new and the old cast really worked, in my opinion. The new cast are great, and the returning old cast are really good, and then you mix them, and obviously you're not going to get crap out of two good things. Alright. A lot of the things that people have been complaining about are kind of the rehashing of the old movies. Like, alright, so I'm going to get into some spoilers here, so I guess this whole video is spoilers, but anyway, it doesn't matter. If you haven't seen it, don't watch. So, a lot of the things that they take from the other ones are, I wouldn't say unnecessary, but they're not entirely necessary, but I liked how they used it. So, like, there's not a Death Star, there's like a Death Planet thing. It's like, I think they said it's like 17 times bigger or something, but like, so they kind of reuse the Death Star, they reuse the whole, someone from a desert planet, you know, goes and has a space adventure. They reused certain elements in other characters as well, but I mean, I for one think it works really well. I liked this movie, I'm not gonna hide that, but alright. Next we have, like, action. The dogfight scenes with, like, X-Wings and TIE Fighters and stuff, oh my gosh, it looked so good. It was, like, seamless. It was, like, seamless CGI. There was, like, no problems with it. Everything was awesome. Lightsaber action, kind of lacking, but for a reason. Now let me explain this. Okay, so it's been 30 years since Episode 6 happened, and even in Episodes 4, 5, and 6, Luke was the only Jedi. And it was 20 years before that the Jedi were prominent. So, the fact that Luke knew how to fight with a lightsaber as well as he did, because he never really had any training. I mean, if you think about it, in Episode 4, he gets trained on that little ball droid, you know, deflecting lasers, but, like, Obi-Wan never teaches him how to fight. And then in Episode 5, he uses it a couple times, and then the fight with Vader, you know, at the end is actually a pretty good fight. It's amazing he knows how to fight that well, considering he hasn't been trained. You know, like, Yoda trained him in, like, jumping and, like, using the Force. Obi-Wan kind of trained him in how to deflect lasers and a little bit about the Force, but neither of them really trained him in combat with a lightsaber. So it's amazing he lasted as long against Vader as he did. And then Episode 6, you can assume he did nothing really but train for that year between movies, and so he was pretty good with his lightsaber. But it's mentioned in this movie that he tried to train some Jedi and then stuff went wrong and he went into hiding. A lot of people outside of the Resistance and the First Order kind of think that Luke is like a myth and that he never really actually existed. And one of the characters that thinks that has a lightsaber at a point and then gets involved in a lightsaber fight. And so the fact that they know how to fight this well with a lightsaber when they've never been trained either, I mean, it's not great. It's a lot of, like, over-the-hands, like, heavy chopping or, like, just really chopping, pretty much. Like, you know, really into it. But, like, it's not as finesse as other films have been. But that's because they never really got trained on how to use a lightsaber in a combat situation. Just, you know, oh, here's how to deflect lasers. Or they didn't even get trained in that, really. So, but overall, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I think it's a great kickoff for the new trilogy and sidequels and stuff like that. There are a few fan theories that got debunked. Like, obviously, Luke wasn't Kylo. I don't know anyone of my friends who actually thought that was a thing still. Finn wasn't the Force-sensitive one, it was Rey. You know, just stuff like that. Luke wasn't hiding, not dead, though. One of the things that I think is interesting, that I kind of thought going in, and I still think, there's not really an Emperor. Well, there's not an Emperor this time. He's, still dead as far as we know. But the leader of the Sith and the First Order guy, his name is Supreme Leader Snoke. And there was theories before, and I was part of that thought he's Darth Plagueis. And if you don't know anything about Plagueis, give me a second, I'll explain it in a minute here. But I'm going to finish my thought. But yeah, there was theories before and during, and there will continue to be theories like that. It hasn't been confirmed or denied, but I'm still kind of in the group that thinks that it might be Plagueis. Now, sorry. For those of you who don't know who Plagueis is, Plagueis was Palpatine's master, Sidious's master. And in Episode 3, we get a little, backstory to him. Like, Sidious is talking to Anakin, explaining how his master kind of figured out all sorts of, dark side things. He even figured out how to bring ones he loved back from the dead and stuff like that. And then Palpatine talks about how he killed him in his sleep. Well, the theory going around, and I believe, is that he never actually killed him. He just, Plagueis let Palpatine think that he killed him, or, he severely injured him, and then Palpatine thought he killed him and didn't. But, I'm totally down with that. And after seeing the movie, the race that Snoke is kind of looks similar to the race that Plagueis is. And, we've never had one of Plagueis' race on screen, so we had no idea what they were going to look like on screen. We just know what they look like in drawings and illustrations from the Expanded Universe. Which, speaking of the Expanded Universe, there is an entire book devoted to Darth Plagueis. And it's a really good book. I've read it, and I'd recommend it. It's all about him right before Palpatine, during Palpatine, and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So that's my review. I'd give it easily a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I really like this a lot, and I've seen it 3 times already, so that's, saying something. I'm going to do some other videos coming up soon. Maybe some Star Wars related ones. I know I have at least one Star Wars related one coming. It might even be up around the same time as this one. And I'll also be getting back into the swing of things. I might do a most anticipated movies coming up for the next year. I would do separate ones for that. I would do a comic book anticipation and a regular anticipation. But I'll keep you guys posted on the Twitter. It's geek_galactic. And the Facebook page is Galactic Geek Entertainment. With that, I guess I don't really have much else to say other than thanks for subscribing and liking. Go ahead and leave comments below if there's any videos you want me to do. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thought to think out what to do for these videos, so if anybody has any ideas, just go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I will probably end up doing it. So, with that said, I'll see you guys later. Keep galacticing.